Welcome to our class on the why, how, and what's new in girls' ministries. We are so excited to be a part of the Alabama All-Church Ministries Summit.
My name is Gay Wall. I was the Georgia Children's Director and the Georgia Girls Ministries Director, well, until July 31st of this year. After 24 years as the Girls Ministries Director and 15 years as the Children's Director, I am retiring to spend more time with my kids and grandkids. Although I'm not really old enough to retire because I have a 17-year-old daughter, even though some may say that she is a Sarah and Abraham story.
I'm glad she didn't tell you my age. I'm Christie, her daughter, or the favorite, as long as you don't ask any of my other siblings, especially that 17-year-old. In all honesty, we all know she's the favorite. I often joke that I was born with blue blood because Girls Ministries has been a part of my life ever since I can remember. From when I was a kid in missionettes, that's going to date me, to now serving as the coordinator at my church. I've tried a whole lot of things, failed at most of them the first time, a second, a third, and fourth, and so on, and then tried again. Today, you'll be hearing a few things that I've learned through this whole process. We're going to start today with the Why Girls Ministries. And to start this, I want to show you a quick video that can help us distinguish between what and why.
How do I know? A lot of people, when they think of the phrase, how do I know, they always want to put the what behind it. How do I know what I'm supposed to do? The question that you really should ask is, how do I know why I'm here? Because when you know your why, your what becomes more clear and more impactful. If you know, like for instance, people know that I do comedy, but that's what I do. My why is to inspire people to walk in purpose. So I can do comedy, I can write books, I can be in a movie, because all of it is motivated by my why. In fact, I have a new web series out called Michael Jr. Break Time. We probably just did the 6th episode. It's on YouTube. So every single Wednesday at 3 o'clock, we drop a new episode on YouTube of Michael Jr. Break Time. What it is it's me. I travel around the country, and I do stand-up comedy, in case you didn't know. And in the middle of my comedy set sometime, I'll stop and just talk to my audience. And we've been filming this, and it's pretty cool. So we're in Winston-Salem. I'm going to show you a clip from Winston-Salem. And I'm just talking to this guy in the audience, and he tells me that he's a musical instructor at a school. So I was like, all right, you're a musical instructor. Can you sing? Let me hear you sing a song. So this is what happened at the last episode of Michael Jr.'s Break Time. Check it. So you're a musical director. Cool.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let me get a couple bars of like Amazing Grace. Can you do the first part of that? Go ahead.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Wow. That bro could sing. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, what you give me the version is if your uncle just got out of jail, you got shot in the back when you was a kid. I'm just saying, let me see the hood version real quick, if you know which version I'm talking about. Just see if that exists. Let me see what you got.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now, right now I'm found, was blind, but now I see.
here's what I want you to catch. The first time I asked him to sing, he knew what he was doing. The second time, he knew why he was doing it. When you know your why, your what becomes more impactful because you're walking towards or in your purpose.
I know many of you watching this have been doing girls' ministries. It's been your what. Today I want to give you a few things to help you think about your why and being able to articulate that so that we can have impactful ministries. First is girls' ministries is biblical. Following the Titus 2 model with passionate ladies who strive to build relationships with the girls of a church through Christ-like mentorships. We desperately need godly examples in mentoring relationships. And we need understanding and friendship from our same-sex peers. Girls' Ministries is a place of belonging. A girl from my church once said, "Girls' Ministries makes me feel like I'm right where I belong." And this is what it should be. Belonging is our primary human need. Very few things besides food and water are as important to kids thriving as finding people and a place of belonging. We long to belong. Girls' Ministries is not, or shouldn't be, the church's Wednesday night babysitting ministry. Girls' Ministries is discipleship, even though sometimes that's a very slow process. Any Rainbows teachers listening? Girls' Ministries is a focused discipleship program where we can encourage scripture memorization, study Bible stories, learn from guest speakers, and complete community projects, and participate in ministry opportunities. Girls' Ministries is about being missions-minded, having a focus, missions, projects, and goals for raising funds for specific needs. We want to teach our kids about missionaries and their call in their lives. We want to teach them about other places in the world and teach them empathy for those less fortunate than us. We want to teach them to pray for the missionaries and for other people in the world. But most important, we want to teach our kids to not only support missions, but to be active doers of the Word. We believe they are the next generation of church leaders and world changers. We also believe they can impact people in their lives right now. And Girls' Ministries is fun. You can do a lot of fun things on Wednesday nights or at events. These give us unique opportunities to bond with the girls while helping them step outside of their ever-increasing busy and noisy world to encounter God. Take a moment to reflect about the why of your ministry and share some thoughts if you are watching this with a group. If not, jot some notes to share at a later time. Pause the video and restart when you are ready. Now we are going to move from the why to the how. The National Girls Ministries website has excellent resources for getting started with girls' ministries. On the National Girls Ministries homepage, you can go to the About and then Getting Started. And you can see that they've got lots of information here, including a short video on 5 simple ways to get started and links to supporting material. They also briefly discuss format options and curriculum materials and resources, including some free resources that they have. The National Girls Ministries office has done a great job in putting all this together, so I'm not going to repeat information already available to you. Instead, I'm going to give you Christie's Keeping It 100 list, or Keeping It Real, what I've learned while trying to keep my head above water during our Girls Ministries revitalization. Or I could title it Lessons Learned from a Southern Highlands Soccer Team. Let's watch this video together.
ถ้าพูดถึงทีมฟุตบอลของเราคงต้องย้อนกลับไปที่วันแรกที่นี่ชาวบ้านชอบดูฟุตบอลกันมากแต่ไม่มีใครเคยเล่นหรอกก็อย่างที่เห็นเรากินนอนอยู่บนน้ำมาแต่ไหนแต่ไรแล้วเพราะที่นี่ไม่มีพื้นดินสักนิดกีฬาอย่างเดียวที่เล่นกันได้คือแข่งเรือไม่ก็โม้กันเรื่องปลาที่จับได้วันนั้นแหละความคิดเล็กๆก็เกิดขึ้นพวกเราคิดตั้งทีมฟุตบอลขึ้นมา ชาวบ้านก็คิดว่าพวกเราบ้า
เด็กพวกนี้ส่งเสียงอะไรกันปาเปิ้ลหีหมดแล้ว
เราตั้งทีมบอลและจะเป็นแชมป์โลก
มีแต่ทะเลเป็นพี่กับทีมตกหมึก
จริงอย่างที่แกพูด พวกเราไม่มีแม้แต่ที่ให้เล่นฟุตบอล พอเราจัดทีมกันเสร็จ ปัญหาต่อมาก็คือเราจะเตะกันที่ไหนล่ะ ที่นี่มีแต่ทางเดินแคบๆแล้วเราก็มีความคิดว่า เราต้องสร้างพื้นที่ของเราเอง เรารวบรวมเศษไม้เก่าๆถูกเข้ากับแพปลาทำอย่างนี้ทุกวันหลังเลิกเรียน แล้วเราก็สร้างสนามของเราขึ้นมามันโยกเยกแต่มีวัตถุเต็มไปหมด บนตกน้ำบ่อยมากเลย พวกเราด้วย แต่เราก็เรียนรู้ในการเล่นบนสนามแบบนี้ก็นี่แหละสนามของเรา
สนามนี้อาจจะเป็นแชมป์โลก
แล้ววันหนึ่งเราก็ได้ไปสมัครการแข่งขันฟุตบอล
ไม่รู้ดิ
แล้วเราจะสู้กับเขาไหวเหรอ แล้วเราก็ตัดสินใจลงแข่ง ถึงจะไม่มีชุดก็เหอะ
นี่เลยแชมป์ชุดนี้รออย่างแรง
เราไม่รู้มาก่อนว่า จริงๆ แล้วชาวบ้านก็สนใจเราเหมือนกันพวกเขาเอาชุดมาให้แถมตามมาเชียร์ด้วย ตอนนั้นเราตื่นเต้นนะ แต่พอเอาเข้าจริง เราทำได้ดีกว่าที่คาดไว้ จังหวะเท้าของเราดีกว่า จากการเลี้ยงหลบตะปู แถมประตูในสนามจริงใหญ่กว่าตั้งเยอะ แล้วเราก็เข้าถึงรอบ 4 ทีมสุดท้าย วันนั้นฝนตกหนักมาก แถมคู่แข่งก็เป็นแชมป์เก่ารองเท้าของเราเต็มไปด้วยน้ำเราเล่นกันไม่ได้เลย หมดครึ่งแรกเราโดนนำไป2 ลูก เราสู้ไม่ได้จริงๆ เราไม่รู้จะทำยังไง หลังจากครึ่งแรกที่เราสู้ไม่ได้ เราต้องทำอะไรบางอย่าง เราต้องกลับไปเล่นฟุตบอลแบบของเราด้วยการถอดรองเท้า มันเป็นฟุตบอลแบบที่เราถนัดจริงๆ คู่แข่งสู้เราไม่ได้ เราเล่นดีขึ้น ทำได้ดีขึ้น เราตีเสมอได้ เราคิดว่าเราจะชนะ แต่เพราะลูกนั้นในนาทีสุดท้ายนั่นแหละ เราไม่เสียใจหรอก ดีใจซะอีกที่มาได้ไกลขนาดนี้ แถมชาวบ้านทุกคนก็ภูมิใจด้วย หลังจากนั้นความคิดของคนทั้งเกาะก็เปลี่ยนไป วันนี้เรามีสนามใหม่ที่ไม่มีตะปูแล้ว แต่เราก็ยังไม่ได้เล่นบนสนามหญ้าอยู่ดี
I love this video. Let's look at 5 lessons that I think it has for us. The first lesson is get squad. These boys did this as a team and eventually as a whole village. You need people. I'll spend more time on motivating your team in my other sessions, so I won't elaborate on that now. But you have to think beyond the usual suspects. One great team member that I have is the Girls Ministries Facebook group. Okay, it's more like 2,000 team members. And just a side note, this is a group. It's not the Girls Ministries page that's on Facebook. It's two different things. But on this group, you can get lots of things like ideas. You can ask questions. You can get resources, and you get updates from the national office. This is definitely something you want to check out. The next lesson is get classy. Sometimes you have to think outside of the box with your classes. Several years ago, our girls' ministries went from a thriving group to a barely alive group for various reasons. At one point, we had 3 volunteers total. We couldn't continue running classes the same way we had been. We had to make some adjustments. When the Paynee soccer team were playing in the semifinal game and it was pouring rain, they finally took off their shoes. They had to do what worked for them. And so do you. The National Girls Ministries team has some resources already available for you. If you go on their website under Leaders and Resources, you can find a section called Combining Classes. Here they've given you several options of how to combine classes and which curriculum might match up with what curriculum best, and some options for what you might choose to do. This is a great place to start. And our girls' ministries group and team has grown since my first month as coordinator, praise Jesus. But we still decided to modify our classes. We found it hard to have 1 year of daisies and 3 years of stars. So this is what we have done. We have Sunlight, where it runs 2 to 3 year olds, and Rainbows 4 to 5, but we're kind of fluid in that depending on the development appropriateness of the children. So they'll go to whichever one works best for them, and they'll use either the Sunlight or Rainbows curriculum in the Sunlight group, and Rainbows uses the Rainbow curriculum. Daisies, we moved to kindergarten and first grade, so our Daisies kids do the Daisy curriculum and select Prims units. And our Prims group does select Prims units and 1 year or select Stars units. And they run from 2nd to 3rd grade. Our Stars is our 4th and 5th graders, and they complete the Stars units and honor steps depending on their achievement. We did this to meet the needs of our church and our community. You're going to have to do the same and decide what works best for you and the resources that you have. Take a moment to reflect on your future or current group. Does your class setup work? What ideas do you have? What changes might you want to make? Share some thoughts if you are watching this with a group, and if not, jot some notes to share at a later time. Pause the video and restart when you are ready. The third lesson is get squared. While we've been talking a lot about out-of-the-box thinking, which is necessary, we also have to think about how we're going to make out-of-the-box thinking work. And to do that, you have to get your stuff squared away. Those boys had to build a practice area, and to do that, they had to be organized. At a Georgia's Church Ministries conference several years ago, another coordinator and friend of mine shared an idea that changed my life. Seriously. She took apart all of her sponsor books and put each unit in a separate binder, so the teacher only had to take 1 unit home at a time. We loved this idea. And we decided to expand on that. So we added the girls' units to the teacher book, or the teacher binder, so that everything stayed together. Then we bought a big binder for the kids, which followed them from daisies to stars. They did not take this binder home. So at the end of the unit, we would file the pages in each girl's big binder. When they completed stars, they got to take the binder with all their work from daisies to stars home with them. Because we reorganized the classes, the Bible reading requirements for stars has to begin in Prims. So we made Bible reading cards for each book of the Bible for the girls to take home. When they finish the reading, they bring back the completed card, and that also goes into their big binder. We eventually want to break this up into suggested reading for each unit. Another thing that helped us was we combined all of our supplies and put them in one area. Part of this was necessity because our classrooms are used for multi-purposes. Teachers let us know what they need each week, and we have one volunteer who gets the supplies and puts them in the classroom before the class starts. Also, a few things we were working on before the pandemic was a subfolder with a duplicate copy of the unit. We had times when the teachers were out unexpected and they had the unit at home with them. A one-page overview for each unit with a checklist for what is required to earn the badge, a craft idea, and a memory activity idea. We also wanted to have a calendar for when each unit should be taught for each club, and a parent packet. These are just some ideas of ways that you might get organized. Take a moment to reflect on your future or your current group. What needs to get squared away? What ideas do you have? What do you want to do some more research on? Share some thoughts if you're watching this with a group, or if not, jot some notes to share at a later time. Pause the video and restart when you are ready. Get pinched is lesson number 4. When it comes to girls' ministries budgets, you have to start by being realistic. Are you no budget or low budget? If you don't fall into one of those categories, you probably don't need this part. When I first became the coordinator, our church was in the middle of a major building campaign. We were definitely low budget. I'm sure that the boys at the beginning of their soccer journey on the video were probably closer to no budget. But that didn't stop them. They used what they had or what they could find. That's one of the first things that we did, was to take stock of what we actually had in each of the classrooms. It turned out that we had more than we thought. It just wasn't organized, so no one really knew. When we moved all the supplies to one location and had one person distribute them, it cut down on a lot of the double ordering and waste. The teachers scoured the internet to find low-cost ideas. There are tons of ideas out there from moms, teachers, homeschool parents, and kids' ministries that can be adapted for our units. And once you realize what you really need, you can watch out for those sales, especially right before school starts, to stock up on those supplies. When we didn't have what we needed, we asked for help. For our sleepover, we made a list of items that we needed and gave it to the women's ministry group and asked if they could help with donations. They totally came through for us. When kids can't afford to go to certain events, we'll ask for sponsors or if people can make a donation towards the cost. Now we are working on a monthly saving option for parents so that they can pay a little each month for all of the events that the girls want to attend each year. Curriculum was a huge expense for us. We live in a military town and we would have lots of attendees who were temporarily based here. We found we were buying whole books and not using all of them. This is another reason we decided to put girls' pages together by unit instead of by club. This way we could order the number of units we needed instead of ordering the whole club binder. While we still encourage achievement, we decided to honor our girls differently than earning badges for sashes. So we donated all of the sashes and badges that we already had to another church. Always reach out to your district leaders and other churches to see what you have that you could offer or what they have that you might need. We shared just a few ways that could help you with your budget. What are some other ways that you are thinking about? What are some areas that you still want to work on? Take a moment to reflect on your future or current group. If you are watching this with a group, share some thoughts. If not, jot some notes to share at a later time. Pause the video and restart when ready. The last lesson is get Insta-worthy. I'm not saying you have to use social media, although this is the 21st century. But if you want to get your girls' ministry group to grow, you have got to get your story out there. And it has to be a story worth listening to. The Painting Fishing Village has a soccer pitch now because people bought into their story. They caught their vision. As much as possible, you want the kids involved in telling the story. This may be posting pictures of things they are doing in class, just remember privacy and protection laws, or making short videos with the girls' testimony or what girls' ministries means to them. Ask a youth member to help you in making the videos. It's amazing what kids can do these days. One thing we started was hosting an open house, like schools do, on the first night of our curriculum year. We found that lots of parents didn't know what Girls Ministries was or what we do. So we met together to go over our vision, mission, events, and other things that we would be doing that year. Then the kids would take their parents to their class and meet their teacher. Teachers decorated and did things to show what their club was all about. Other groups I know do newsletters or have central places with all of their information. You may ask for some time during your Sunday morning service to share about Girls Ministries. If you do, make sure your story and how you tell it is well thought out and well prayed over so that people take away the right message. One way you might do this is by speaking while you have pictures scrolling that match the message so people can see what you are talking about. Just remember, when getting your story out there, you have to be excited about Girls Ministries and where you are going. No one wants to come hang out or support a sinking ship. Take a moment to reflect on your future or current group. What are some ways that you want to try getting your Girls Ministry story out? What ideas do you have? What questions do you still have? Share some thoughts if you're watching this with a group. If not, jot some notes to share at a later time. Pause this video and restart when you are ready.
Let's take a look at what's new in Girls Ministries. Right now, we are living in an ever-changing world due to COVID-19, which is why we are doing our workshop virtually and not in person this year. Because of this, our National Girls Ministries leaders have worked hard to keep Girls Ministries and leadership training easy for us to access and continue training to better equip us to know how to minister to girls. Let's begin with looking at what is new in leadership development. First leadership training I want to share with you is the Girls Ministries Leaders Training Guide, which is not new, but it is a great resource for everything with Girls Ministries. But what is new is now the test is online at their website. We no longer have to fill in the Scantrons and mail them into the National Girls Ministries Department. This test has also been reduced from 100 questions to 60 questions. Yay! Certificates of completion will be immediately emailed directly to you after you submit the test. Next is the new Momentum Training Series. I love these 3 new trainings. These have taken the place of the retired MLDUs, the Momentum Leadership Development Units, the Bronze, Silver, and Gold. You can still order these, but once they are sold out, they will not reprint. You can order the new Momentum Training Series online at the Girls Ministries website. These trainings can be done in a group or individually. There is a 20-question online test which you will earn a national certification for the training once you successfully completed the test. First in this series is Children with Disabilities. This training will walk you through practical ways to teach all girls in your club, not just the majority of your girls. With this training, we don't have to worry about how to meet the needs of a girl in your club that has a disability. It will give you step-by-step instructions to help you prepare a lesson, maybe a little bit differently than you have before. Children with Disabilities training focuses on intellectual and developmental disabilities and autism. Second in this series is Sticky Lessons and Learning That Last. This training gives fun and creative ways to make sure your lessons stick with the girls and also helps to keep them engaged. So when you ask them what they learned last week, your girls will all be talking at the same time. Plus in this series is Learning That Last, which focuses on ways to teach every learning style for all the girls, no matter how they learn. And this training will help you be able to incorporate multiple learning styles into each lesson. Last of this series is Leaving a Spiritual Legacy. In this training, you will discover how to model and mentor the message of God's Word. This series shares with you the importance of how you need to live a positive spiritual example for your girls, how to intentionally speak into the girls' lives, and how to align your teaching with God's Word. We have the ability to influence our girls. Let's make sure we are influencing them in a godly way and that we leave a spiritual legacy. The last leadership development I want to share with you is the Girls Ministries e-trainings. These are 10 to 20 minute video trainings that come with an outline and fill-in-the-blank worksheet. Currently, they offer 8 videos, but more will be released periodically. The 8 they offer right now are Getting Started with Impact in Teen Girls Clubs, Using Curriculum to Communicate, Women Mentoring Girls, Event Planning and Outreach, 10 Ways to Raise Money for Coins for Kids, Nurturing a Healthy Teen Girls Ministries, and Recruiting and Training Volunteers. There's 2 of these, Part 1 and Part 2. Now let's take a look at other resources and information that is new to Girls Ministries. First is the Teen Girl Vlog, The Everyday. This vlog was created by our National Girls Ministries members, Emily, the Teen Girl Specialist, and Shauna, the Girls Ministries Administrative Coordinator. They have been working on a new mini-series, What I Wish I Knew as a Teenager. This mini-series includes topics like knowing God's voice, friendship, truths versus lies. Wow, I wish we had these series when my girls were teenagers. Oh wait, I do have one that is still gleaning from these truths. Have your teen girls check out these and more vlogs found on the National Girls Ministries website. Next, I want to share with you about the new 2020 nationwide event for Girls Ministries. The theme is Be Beautiful, based on 1 Peter 2:9. But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of Him who called you out of darkness into His wonderful light. This event, previously called Sleepover, is usually planned on September 25th and 26th, but you can do this event anytime that works best for your church. All resources, products, and downloads are online at the Girls Ministries website. They have a planning guide which gives you ideas for fun stations, Coins for Kids projects, pre-service activity, crafts, skits, and devotionals. They also have some fun products like t-shirts, compact mirrors, notepads, and a cardboard crown for the crown craft. And what is so cool about this year's nationwide event is they now have it as a virtual option with videos in case you are unable to or just choose to do this event virtually. Because of COVID-19, and many have been unable to attend church physically for several months, and beginning back has been and still is a process, plus the incredible huge need for our 2 2020 Coins for Kids projects, Vanuatu and Compact Family Services Hillcrest Children's Home. The National Girls Ministries Department has extended these 2 projects to include both 2020 and 2021. Please, ladies, don't let up on raising your Coins for Kids missions money. Both projects were in great need before COVID-19, but even more so now because of COVID-19. Normally, the National Girls Ministries Department will send all the funds raised at one time after the close of the year. But now, because both of these projects are critical needs, they are sending the monies out each month. So please, work hard to raise your Coins for Kids missions money and send in as soon as possible. Last, I want to let you know that you can now go online at myhealthychurch.com to view the new Girls Ministries catalog. Take a look and see how easy it is to view all the curriculum and resources that Girls Ministries has to offer.